produced within the border, okay, which is known as GDP, gross domestic product, uh, in a border, primary, secondary and tertiaries. Okay, how much the percentage output is coming, which will be calculated within the boundary, which is known as GDP. GDP means gross domestic product within the boundary. GNP in the sense the value of final goods and service produced within a border plus NFT, net for foreign transaction, from the outside of the India, which is known as GNP, gross national product. Am I right? Then now the net national product. What is meant by net national product? Okay, here GNP.
Sir, sir,
Yes,
what is it NFT?
net for foreign transaction means the out foreign fund inside how much we have goods and service within a boundary plus foreign fund. So it will be calculated as GNP. It how they will ask in the sense it may be the same option A, option B, option C, option D, like that what I have mentioned. So you have to find out according to the question. Then how the national net product calculated in the sense GNP minus depreciation. GNP minus depreciation. Depreciation in the sense expenditure. Okay, for in our national product, gross national product, how much fund we have utilized for our country welfare means expenditure. So if you minus, you may get for the NNP. NNP in the sense net national product. Okay, we have to minus depreciation. Depreciation means expenditure from the GNP, which is known as NNP, national net product. And national domestic product in the sense GDP minus depreciation. Depreciation in the sense already I told that expenditure. Okay, within the boundary how much the monies we have and we have taken for our welfare, remaining money which is considered NTP. Okay, national domestic product. Did you understand these four concepts?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me explain. GDP in the sense, you know very well, somewhat I'm teaching. GDP means gross domestic product, the value of final goods and service produced within a boundary. This GDP comes under the three sectors: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Okay, GNP in the sense the value of final goods and service produced within a boundary plus NFT means outside of the money, net for foreign transaction, which is known as gross national product. NNP in the sense net national product. Okay, GNP we have national product minus depreciation. So the expenditure. Okay, out of GNP, the expenditure if you minus, you may get for the NNP. NDP in the sense national domestic product. GDP minus depreciation. The inside how much inside the country, how much money we have, and we have taken for our consumption, remaining money which is considered NDP, net domestic product. Then you know that PCI in the 10th class we have studied the per capita income. How do you calculate per capita income in the sense national income divided by national income divided by national income divided by total population of the
Population.
country. Very good. Population of the country. Okay, population of the country, which is known as per capita income. So which I have discussed first four. It may be available to come. Please go through that these points. Okay, I will update this all the things. And what is meant by GAV? Okay, what is meant by GAV? GAV means gross value added. Gross value added. Okay, let me explain what is gross value added. It is a measure of the value of goods and service produced in an area, industries or sectors. In an area, industries or sectors. Goods and service produced in an area, industries or sectors. Okay, which is known as the income will come industry, secondary or in the tertiary, which is known as gross value added. Then next, in the sense this HTI rank, you know the human development index. Okay, human development index, which is measured by UNDP, United Nation Development Program. You studied in the 10th class, second chapter, sectors of Indian economic. UNDP, Human Development Index, measured by UNDP, United Nation Development Program. Okay, what are the criteria they are going to do in the sense life expectancy. Okay, life expectancy. Then second one is educational level, educational level. Then third one is standard of living index. Standard of living index. Okay, these are all the way they will measure. Accordingly, they will give the report, the country development. It is apart from the GNP, GDP, Human Development Index. Only consider the country is developed or underdeveloped. Okay, according to 2020 report, the HTI rank India. Um, okay, HTI rank of India is 129th rank. So out of 189 countries, okay, the HTI rank of India, according to 2020 report, we are 129th rank. Okay, it is the Google information, 129th rank. Please note. Okay, and your question is, which country is top in HTI rank? Which country is top in HTI rank? In the sense, Norway. Norway. Did you understand,
Yes,
boys?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay
sir.
then. Now, yes. Now, shall we go about the latest information? I have made it small with um, NDA book from the library book plus the Google information and somewhat 10th state book. So I have made it and somewhat information 9th, 10th economics book. Okay, I did not take too much of UPSC, that much of IAS syllabus, only less amount what is needed, syllabus oriented. I checked them. As per the World Bank, in 2017, India became the sixth largest with a GDP, the US dollar 259 trillion, relegating France to seventh position. Okay, we have overtaken France. The data has taken for 2017 sixth position. Now, what is the rank of India in GDP at present? The economic of India categorized as a developing market economic. It is the world fifth largest economic. Wait, I have to put recording session. Yeah, wait few minutes. Sorry, record I have to make. Okay, it is the world fifth largest economic by nominal GDP and the third largest by purchasing power party. Okay, the PPP. There are two meanings will be there. First meaning is purchasing power party. Okay, means the product which we are going to buy, the consumers going to utilize the other product. Okay, so while purchasing power party, we are in the third position in the world level, and buying this one total economic by GDP, we are in the fifth largest. Understood? And the first question, USA. According to the IMF, International Monetary Fund, on a per capita income basis, India ranked 139th by GDP. So here, in the sense, per capita income, you know that how do you calculate per capita income? Total income divided by total population. According to this fifth position GDP, if you divide by the population, we are 139th rank. Okay, according to the GDP, and the purchasing power parties, we are 118th. We are 118th. For example, if you see that all the people cannot buy about luxurious goods, okay, the valuable goods from the USA or some other countries, and most of the people will buy only for the China goods. Okay, that's what depends upon ratio they made it, purchasing power, and we are 118th rank. The next one, India is likely surpassed United Kingdom in the world largest economic ranking in 2019. Okay, then according to the World Economic Outlook report of IMF, Indian economic expected to grow by 7.5% in the year of 2019 and 20. The IMF World Bank report says that India's expected grow 7.5. They have to give for the GDP rate in the year of 2019 and 20. So you may ask, sir, these data are taken by, as per the Central Statistics Office, CSO, Ministry of Statistics and Programming Implementation, MOSPI, the growth in GDP during 2018 is estimated 7.2% as compared to the growth of rate 6.7. It means 2017-18 6.7, and 2018-19 our rate has improved. GDP has improved a little bit. Okay, it means 1% has improved. Did you understand about this one, boys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will update this one. Just you go through that. Okay, and the state wise, which state has the highest GDP in India? Okay, as of now, 2019 information, Maharashtra. Second place, Tamil Nadu. Okay, Maharashtra, second place Tamil Nadu. The US dollar information also available. The lakh crore, 29.79 lakhs crore in Maharashtra, second Tamil Nadu, followed by Gujarat and Karnataka. Okay, go through this information which may be asked. Then it's economic sectors. I think Sir has completed on the day. GR Sir, I have to give somewhat 5 minutes. I will take this topic. Indian economic sectors on the basis of natural activity. It has been divided into three on the basis of natural activities, on the basis of work condition, on the basis of ownership. If you take for on the basis of natural condition, it has been divided into five primary sectors: secondary, tertiary, quaternary, and quinaries. Okay, these last two we did not discuss about up to 10th class. We are going to discuss now quaternaries and quinaries. On the basis of work condition, organized sectors, unorganized sectors, on the basis of ownership, public and private. These three you know very well, but I have to teach the extra quaternaries and quinaries. And the primary sectors, you know that it is based on agriculture, whichever arable land means agriculture related things, for example, mining, fishing, you know. And here, one things you have to die: the people engaged in primary activities are called red collar workers due to outdoor nature of the work. Red collar workers. Okay, you see that those who are working in the rural sectors, they used to keep only for the red color of a towel, and they used to keep red collar worker. Okay, the match the followings they may ask. Red collar worker depends upon primary sector. Secondary sectors means, you know very well, it is based on the industrial as well as manufacturing world. They are called as blue collar workers. The people engaged in secondary activities are called blue collar workers. Am I clear, boys? Did you understand what
Okay.
I'm
Yes, sir.
telling? Okay, if you just you listen. And core industries. Okay, core industries in the sense, eight core industries are electricity, steel, refinery product, crude oil, coal, cement, natural gas, and fertilizer. These eight industries are come under core industries. The index of eight core industries is monthly production index, which is also considered as a lead indicator of monthly industrial performance. Okay, these industries monthly based, they have to show for the financial status. That's what it is known as core industries. For example, core industry means if any options are available, just you go through that. This electricity, steel, refinery product, crude oil, it may be calculated every month. Okay, fertilizer, these all the things. Then tertiary sectors. Tertiary sectors means, you know that service sectors, for example, doctors, engineers, banking, teachers, insurance, finance, these all the things come under service sector. Here these sectors jobs are called white collar jobs. Okay, white collar jobs. White collar jobs means they belongs to service sectors. Maximum these people lawyers, they may utilize this one only. And the next one is pink collar workers. Pink collar workers. Pink collar workers is usually a woman. Men rarely work in pink collar jobs. Some examples of pink collar occupation are babysitter, florist, daycare workers, nurse. Okay, it means the women's oriented jobs, they always utilize for the pink collar work. For example, if you go for the Vasanaiker or in hospital, the most of the nurse can utilize the pink collar workers only. White also there, but that depends upon the rank they can utilize. Did you understand what I'm telling, boys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then next one is sunrise industries. Okay, what are sunrise industries? Sunrise industry is a term used for sector that is just in its infancy, but shows promise of a rapid boom. Promise of a rapid boom, upcoming economic development. What are the means? Information technology, IT field will come under sunrise industries, because rapid boom in the sense economic development as soon as some targeted place. The telecom sectors, healthcare, infrastructure sectors, retail sectors, food processing industries, and fisheries. It all come under sunrise industries. Okay, I will update, just you go through that. And quaternary activities. These are the specialized territory activities in the knowledge sectors. Okay, above the tertiary. Tertiary means service sectors. There are next level people like officers, knowledge sectors, which demand separate classification. Quaternary sectors is the intellectual aspect of the economic. It is the process which enable entrepreneurs, means the businessman, to innovate and improve the quality and service offered in the economic, means private people like data and steel industries, um, that Tata Motors, their group of companies people. Okay, it means the economic development people. um, okay, and here the personal working in office building, elementary schools and university classrooms, hospitals and doctors offices, theaters, accounting, these people. Okay, it means the high level, more than tertiary people, means the high rank people. Okay, so they are called as knowledge sectors. I have searched any callers for in this quaternary, it is not available. Quaternaries and quinaries are the same, means the gold collar. Next you see the quinaries. The quinary sector is the part of economic where the top level decision, they are the like the principal and the university's vice chancellor and the air force officer, means the commando position. Okay, this include government, which possesses legislation like lawyer. It also comprises top decision making in industries, commerce and also education sectors. The professions under this category offer refer to a gold collar professions. You know that once if you have completed degree and the convocation which you are going to get at the time, the university VC has to wear this much of coat only, gold collar, because they are the decision maker as well as educational sectors highest position. Okay, and the quaternaries in the sense knowledge sectors, it is also based on the same only, but here the quaternaries, the intellectual aspect of the economic, it is the process which enable entrepreneurs, in the sense entrepreneurs means the businessman. But here quinaries in the sense top level decision making, they are the industries, commerce and educational sectors. Okay, read one or two times, it will be understood. See here, the senior business executives, government officials, research scientists, financial and legal consultants, they all come under quinaries activities. Did you understand?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Okay. Organized sectors means, you know that in 10th class you studied organized and unorganized. Organized means it is undertaken by the government, fixed and regular, and salaries will be there, provident fund will be there, medical securities will be there. This is known as security and employment will be there, fixed hour, and everything is okay. Okay, the life security. Unorganized in the sense which is not undertaken by the government. There is no life security. There is no job security. Act pertaining welfare scheme as mentioned in the Schedule 2 of Unorganized Workers Social Security Act 2008. Okay, for product unorganized sectors, and the government has introduced one act, that is the act called Schedule 2 of Unorganized Workers Social Security Act 2008. Okay, please go through that. Okay, then that's all. Then next one is public private partnership. That's what before we have discussed PPP, in the sense public not purchase processing. Okay, means PPP in the sense what does it mean?
Purchasing power parity.
Okay, purchasing power party. This PPP in the sense public private partnership. Okay, public private partnership. Understood. And in this type, the partnership investment being undertaken by the private sector's entity for the specified period of time. PPP involves full retention of responsibility by the government for providing the services. It does not amount to privatization because it is undertaken by the government, but the resource will be government and it is taken by the private sectors. It is the collaboration, cooperative sectors like that. Okay, and then it can also the required experts in the planning or executing large project. Okay, if they ask about that PPP in the sense, think that any ownership related to the public and private collaboration sectors, you make it PPT is an arrangement between government and private sectors for the provision of public asset. The thing is, for example, if you take the toll gate, the resource will be government, but it is maintained by private, like Tata, this one L&T, their company toll gates are maintaining. It means agreement based, 5 years, 6 years. For example, if you take the railway it is the government assessed, and one or two it has gone to the private. But one the tenure is over, they have to give, they have to resettle to the government. Okay, did you understand what I'm telling?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay then. Sectors wise contribution of GDP, it is too important. Service sector is the largest sectors of India. Gross value added, GAV at current prices for service sector is estimated at 92.26 lakh crore Indian rupees in 2018-19. Service sectors account for 54.40% of total Indian rupees GAV, and GAV half in a lakh crore I have mentioned here, and GAV with industry sectors contribute 50.43 lakh crore, percentage wise 29.73 percentage, while agriculture 15.87. The Indian rupees we did not mention, but what you have to think about, service sectors 54.4 percentage, industrial sector 29.73 percentage, agriculture 15.87 percentage. Just you go through that. Okay, then 5-year plans already, GR sir have completed one or two. I have mentioned the 12 5-year plan only for highlighted point alone I'm giving, don't worry. Okay, first 5-year plan, it is started 51 to 56. Okay, the assessment and objectives. Okay, assessment, the target and objective more or less achieved, because during that time there was no development of industrial sectors, so that it is less achieved. That time only they have set up for the IITs, okay, Indian Institute of Technology, and rehabilitation of refugees, because when India partition problem happened, most of the people have come to the India. There was lot of famine. You know that 1943 Bengal famine, more than 43 lakhs people have died. Okay, go through. You have studied food security, the ninth class economic study. Am I right? Okay,
Yes,
rehabilitation
sir.
refugees. And another of the objective is food self-sufficiency. The government has said that 5 years we have to give full self-sufficient food, self-sufficient in the short possible time, and control inflation. These are all the activities done by first 5-year plan. Second 5-year plan, it is happened 56 to 61. It could not be implemented fully due to shortage of foreign exchange. It is also failure, because we did not get that much of NFT, net foreign fund, we didn't get that much. But there are some improvement. Hydroelectric power project, and 5 steel mills, Pilai, Durgapur and Rourkela were established. Okay, this period 1956 to 61, we have developed an hydroelectric power project, as well as 5 steel mills also set by the government, Pilai, Durgapur, Rourkela, and okay, means the adjoining areas, the Odisha, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh area, 5 steel as well as hydroelectricity power we have improved. And here the conclusion, what is the objective means, rapid industrialization. We have to develop for the industrialization product. And heavy industrial policies 1956 they have improved, accepted the establishment of socialistic pattern of society as the goal of economic policy. Objective means we have to develop for rapid industrialization, and heavy industrial policy 1956 they have introduced. This is the second agenda as well as objectives also. And third one is 60. Hello. Okay, third one is, I will update this one. Okay, no problem. Third one is 1961 to 66. It is also failure. Why it is failure? In the sense, wars and drop has come, because you know that 1962 Indo-China war, we lost number of soldiers as well as number of money also we lost it. At this time we received lot of weapons from the America, and that also we came for the internal no, external debt, Kadan. Okay, then, even though the Panchayat election were started, the third 5-year plan, State Electricity Board and State Secondary Education Board were informed. Okay, from the 5-year plan, a Panchayat election were started, State Electricity Board they have introduced, and the Secondary Education Board were formed. And what is the objective? Mean establishment of self-reliant and self-generating economy. So we have to do for the self-reliant work, means like Khadi craft. Gandhiji used to know Khadi craft, as well as Indian product, Indian market product we have to implement, and self-generating economic. All people have to do inside the internal economic activities, not for the external economic activities. Did you understand what I'm telling, guys? Are you getting bored?
Yes, sir.
Oh, sir.
Okay, wait. Then next one is after the third, before fourth 5-year plan, there was a 3 5-year plan, annual plan, 66 and 69. Okay, before going to fourth plan, and between our fourth and third, there is another plan, annual plan 1966 and 1969. new agricultural strategy was implemented. It involved distribution of high yielding variety HYV seed. Okay, HYV seed. You know that mid 1960 and with the help of Jawaharlal Nehru, M.S. Swaminathan, they have introduced for the high yielding variety HYV seed have developed in the mid annual plan. Extensive use of fertilizer, exploitation of irrigation potential and soil conservation measure have done in the year of annual plan 1966 and 1969. What is the objective? Crisis in agriculture and serious food shortage required attention. So what the population has increasing by year, so we have to improve the agriculture food shortage. We are facing lot of food shortage. We have to implement. So that what we have to do, then M.S. Swaminathan and Jawaharlal Nehru, they gone to the Russia. They found that 7 5-year plan. They brought the culture and they have introduced the India 5-year plan. Understood? HYV seeds, all the things. Then fourth 5-year plan, 69 to 74, was yes. Tell me, dear.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, doubt,
Yes.
sir.
Which? Tell me.
Sir, you told in third 5-year
Tell.
plan, panchayat system was introduced, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
But in 1992 only it was
Yes.
implemented, no, sir.
Okay. Panchayat system they introduced, but the systematically decentralization has introduced 1992. Systematically. Why? In the sense, central state. There is the federalism. How federalism practiced in India? What makes federalism in India? You studied. What makes means central list, state list, union list, state list, and concurrent list. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Clear my point, sir. Okay.
Yes,
But
sir.
at the time, the union government did not given the full resource to the state, and the state also did not given full resource to the union government, means district government. Then afterwards only, this officially 1992 they have set up this one, means Decentralization Act 1992. Understood? They have started only, they have given. They did not tell about implemented. Panchayat election were started but not implemented in the year 1992. Am I right? Okay. Okay, if I will also check your answer. According, I also have studied that the federalism fully, but answer also correct only. Even though I will check, then I will tell upcoming class. Okay. And this 4th-year plan also failure. It is achieved growth 3.5 percentage, but was okay, but it was marred by inflation. The Indira Gandhi government nationalized 14 major Indian banks, and the Green Revolution in Indian advanced agriculture. Okay, this year they have introduced the Green Revolution. But actually, when you see the book, the Green Revolution has introduced in the year of 1950s only. But here in this 69 to 74 also, they have given the assessment Green Revolution. Green Revolution in India, advanced agriculture. Very good. Okay, advanced agriculture means the latest technology before government whatever have done. At the same time, they have introduced 14 major Indian banks also, and growth objective means growth with stability and progressive achievement, self-reliance, Garibi Hataao target. In 90th class, we have studied about the democratic politics, Garibi Hataao target in the sense anti-poverty program. Okay, the against poverty program. That is their agenda. Am I clear? Shall I go for 5th one? Okay.
Yes, sir.
What is inflation?
Which one?
Inflation.
Inflation in the sense. Wait. I'm also not sure. Okay, wait. Inflation. Can anyone? Inflations. Okay, inflation in the sense.
Prices will
The,
increase.
yes, the poor in economic. No, degrees in economic level. Am I right,
Yes, sir.
boys?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Panavikam, in Tamil we can tell Panavikam in the sense the economical depression. Inflation means the economical depression. Okay, that's what economical depression only. There was a lot of poverty. So their objective is anti-poverty program. Then
Sir,
55-year plan. Tell me, dear.
sir, every 5-year plan was failure, sir.
There are some 5-year plans succeed. Okay, wait, I will tell. It is available, dear. If you come, some of the plan has achieved well. See here,
Yes.
65-year plan, most target achieved. Some of the plan, okay. Fifth five-year plan, high inflation because the economic depression was terminated by the Janata government. Yet the Indian national highway system was introduced for the first time. Fifth five-year plan only the national highway system was introduced. The objective is the removal of poverty and attainment of self-reliance. The fifth year five-year plan also they have taken the objective is removal of poverty and attainment of self-reliance. Then sixth five-year plan, most targets achieved. Whatever the government has given the targets for 5 years, sixth five-year plan achieved 80s and 85. 1980, 1985 means growth 5.5%. PC means 5%. Family planning was also expanded in order to prevent overpopulation. Why? In the sense that they thought that economic is coming, population is increasing. To avoid that, we have to do the decreasing of population. So they have implemented family planning was also expanded in order to prevent overpopulation. Here, direct attack on the problem of poverty by creating conditions of expanding economic, their objective. So we have to do the means the expanding economic related things we have to do, and direct attack on the problems of poverty. This is also most of the agendas are taken by poverty or self-reliant, like that only. Then seventh five-year plan 85 to 90 with a growth rate of 6%. This plan was proved successful. See here, sixth and seventh were successful in spite of severe drought condition for the first 3 years consecutively. This plan introduced programs like Jawahar Rojgar Yojana. Jawahar Rojgar Yojana. This explanation it is available NCERT 9th class book. What does it mean? Have you studied this one? Jawahar Rojgar Yojana. It is related to food security lesson. Okay.
Employment.
Okay, refer it. Okay. It is also food security lessons related to the ration card system. Understood? Okay, there are three types of ration card according to the color wise. Am I clear? Then, what is the objectives of emphasis on policies and program that would accelerate the growth in food grains production, increase employment opportunities, and raise productivities? Their agenda is increase employment opportunities and raise productivities. Okay, as well as we have to improve the grain production. Did you understand this one, boys? I will
Yes,
update
sir.
this one.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I will update this one. Then
Yes,
annual
sir.
plan. See here, seventh and eighth in between there is a plan, annual plan. It is also 3 years, 1989 to 1991. It was the beginning of privatization and liberalization. You know that 1991 only. You know the Manmohan Singh period. It was developed in the liberalization policy. Okay. Here no plan due to political uncertainty. What, sir? Wait 5 minutes. Yes, sir. Six, sir. No, six, sir. Two will be map activities, and mm, fully, sir. Yes, sir. Five. No, no. Four. Four. Yes, sir. Three. One, two, three. Two. Eight. Three, sir. Eight, three, sir. Okay, dear. Sorry for that. Okay, because no plan due to political uncertainties, because there was some government due to their majority, it may be collapsed. Okay, in the democratic polities, just you have to see that. You have to please. You have to see this on political parties, political problem. What was happened 1989 to 1991. Let me tell the next class. And the eighth five-year plan. Did you understand about the annual plan? Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The eighth plan, okay,
Yes, sir.
1992 to 1997, 5-year, eighth year plan. Partially success means not fully, partially it's working. And average annual growth rate 6.78 against target 5.6 achieved. Okay. So their target is 6.78, but we have achieved 5.6. And what was the growth means? Rapid economic growth, high growth of agriculture and the allied sectors, means agro-based industries, cotton, jute, all the things we have to improve. And the manufacturing sectors, growth in export and import, improvement in trade, and the current account deficit undertaken an annual average growth of 5.6 we achieved. Okay, so it is also almost eighth plan also little bit success only. The ninth plan 1997 to 2002, it is it achieved a GDP growth rate 5.4 lower than target. Okay, it is achieved GDP growth rate of 5.4 lower than target. It is also okay. And what was the objective means the quality of life, means quality of life in the sense education, healthcare, job opportunities we have to do. The yes, the quality of population, generation, productivity, employment, and regional balance and self-reliance, growth with social justice and equality. And the growth target 6.5, but we have achieved 5.4 almost. Okay, okay, it was also successful only. Shall I go to 10th 5-year plan 2002 and 2007? It was successful in reducing poverty ratio by 5%, increasing forest cover to 25%, increasing literacy rate 75%, and the economic growth of the country 8%. See, the assessment 10th plan is too important. It is successful in reducing poverty ratio by 5%, increasing forest cover 25%, because in till now if you see the forest area 21% only, but 10th plan the targeted 25% we have to put. According to the national forest policy 1952 says about each country should have been given forest at least 33%, 1952 forest policy. But Indian government have planned that at least 25% we have to improve for forest, increasing literacy rate 75% and the economic growth rate 8%. What is the achievement objectives? Achieve 8% of GDP growth rate, reduce poverty by 5 points, and increasing the literacy rate in the country. Did you understand this one, 10th plan, boys?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then 11th plan 2007 to 2012, it has recorded an average annual economic growth rate of 8%. Farm sector grew at an average 3.7% against 4 target. The industry grew with an annual average growth 7.2 against 10 targeted. Almost everything 10 the targeted in the sense 7.2, so 70% we have improved. Then rabbit includes what is the objective means empowerment through the educational and skill development. Empowerments the leadership, the development of education and skill development, reduction of gender inequalities. Which plan? 11th plan. So far we didn't discuss about the inequalities at all. 11th plan, reduction of gender inequalities. Environmental sustainability, the 11th plan only. The objectives they have taken: environmental sustainability, to increase the growth rate in agriculture industries, service 4%, 10% and 9% respectively, provide clean drinking water for all by 2009. 11th plan is too important because they have taken the agenda, provide clean drinking water for all by 2009. Shall we go for another plan, 12th plan? 12th plan 2012 to 2007, there was no any assessment, but their objective is given: faster, sustainable and more inclusive growth. Purposes a growth target of 8%, raising agriculture output to 4%, manufacturing sectors growth to 10%, the target of adding over 8,000 megawatt of power generation capacity. These are all the Modi government 12th 5-year plan. They have objectives, but afterwards they have broken that. Afterwards it has come for Niti Aayog. It is available upcoming class. Before that, the history of economic planning in India. Okay, the noted civil engineer and administrator M. Visvesvaraya is regarded as the pioneer of economic planning in India. It is very important. And his book Planned Economic for India, he has written the book Planned Economic for India. It is published in 1934, suggested a 10-year plan with an outlay of rupees 1,000 crore and a planned increase of 600% of industrial output per annum based on economic condition of that time. Okay, during that tenure itself, he has mentioned that within the 10-year plan, the country is going to achieve these are all the this much outcomes. He has mentioned that in the book of Planned Economic for India. His name is Civil Engineer and Administrator M. Visvesvaraya, regarded as pioneer economic planning in India. Okay. Then industrial policy statement published just after the independence 1948 recommended setting up a planning commission and the following next economic model, and down is available. Setting of the planning commission 5th March 1950. First 5-year plan, it is happened 1st April 1915. Dissolution of planning commission 13th August 2014. And setting of Niti Aayog, National Institute for Transforming India, National Institute for Transforming India, Niti Aayog, 1st January 2015. They setting up, but 2017 only it was implemented successfully. Did you understand this years? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Then, yes, tell me, dear. Then, about the government schemes, okay, it is the latest scheme. There are number of schemes introduced by the this government, but I have taken most probably 13, which would be asked most competitive exam. Just you go through first 13, afterwards according to your ability you study. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, I will read, and in between I will explain, just you see. National Mission on Financial Inclusion that provide an integrated approach to bring about robust financial inclusion, and ultimately the concept is providing banking service to all household in the country. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana main objective means provide banking service to all household in the country. With the outbreak of COVID-19 in India, latest information, the finance minister of India, Nirmala Sitharaman, made an announcement to provide rupees 500 per month to every woman Jandan account holders for next 3 years. Did you understand? It is the latest information. But Pradhan Mantri, I have mentioned that. You may ask, sir, when was implemented? Then here also I have made it the another tabular column. It will maybe that is study materials. Did you understand this one, boys? Okay. Then this announcement was made on 26 March 2020 recently as an initiative towards loss caused by the outbreak. Okay, Nirmala Sitharaman. Second one is Make in India. What is the main objective means the facilitate investment, booster innovation, enhanced production, and the Make in India has identified 25 sectors in manufacturing, and okay, and infrastructure and service activities, and detailed information is being shared through the interactive web portal and the professionally developed approaches. Okay, the major information what I have highlighted, just you go through Make in India, and when it is started, what was the important things, it is available in the tablet column. I will keep. And Swachh Bharat Mission, what is the major agenda or objective means the campaign aims to achieve the vision of Clean India by 2nd October 2019. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is the most significant campaign with regards to sanitation by the government of India. Okay, it is the third important plan. And fourth one is Beti Bacho Beti Bado, the girls socially and financially self-reliant through education. It is too important for women wants to improve in the educational level as well as the economical level. That is why the government has introduced that scheme, Beti Bacho Beti Bado. Then Adal Pension Yojana. It is the scheme, universal pension scheme for those who are a part of unorganized sectors such as maids, gardeners, and delivery boys. Okay, these schemes replace the previous Swalampan Yojana, which was not well received by the people. Okay, this is Atal Pension Yojana in the sense who are part of unorganized sectors. They have mentioned on scheme related to them. Then Digital India Mission, the vision to transform India into digitally empowered social and knowledge economic, society and knowledge economic. Hello, are you listening, man? Boys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then seventh one is Pradhan Mantri Saram Yogi Manthan. What is the important agenda means objective means voluntary and contributory pension scheme. There are three will be the minimum assured pension. Each subscriber under the PM SYM shall receive minimum assured pension of rupees 3,000 per month after attaining the age of 60 years. Okay, it is under the scheme. Then family pension, in the sense, the applicable only by the spouse during the receipt of your spouse. If the subscriber uh, dies, the spouse of beneficiary shall be entitled to receive 50 percentage. Okay, it is applicable only the spouse. And the third one is, the beneficiary has grown a regular contribution and died due to any causes before the age of 60 years. His or her spouse will be entitled to join the continue the scheme subsequently by payment of regular contribution. It is also one of the pension scheme. Understood? Pradhan Mantri Saran Yoj Manthan. Okay, three will be available. Just you go through. The next one is gold monetization scheme. It is introduced the year of 2015. What is the objective mean? The scheme, one can deposit their gold in any form in a gold monetization scheme account to an interest as the price of the gold metal goes up. Okay, for example, and those days 10 years back you have kept in the bank in the market for 2000 rupees means, and today it is coming about 40,000. So interest can be improve according to the gold prices. Okay, the next one is PM CARES Fund, Prime Minister Citizen Assistance and Reliance Emergency Situation Fund. It is public charitable trust, objective to meet distressed and treatful situation like COVID-19 in times ahead. Okay, like that COVID-19, any draft, any flood condition or any other problems will come at the time, the charitable trust will support them. For example, it is initiated March 28, 2020 under the chairmanship the Indian Prime Minister with Ministry of Home Affairs, Defence Minister and Finance Minister as the ex officio trustees. Okay, they are the membership. Did you understand, boys?
Yes,
See,
Yes, sir.
I do not want to explain, giving only for objectives, because if I'm explaining each and everything, time is used. That's what. Then Arokya Setu, which is too important, and it is the mobile app. It is related to COVID-19. The government of India took an initiative fight the coronavirus pandemic. It is launched mobile application to spread the awareness COVID-19 among the citizens of India through an app called Arokya Setu. Here we are also keeping. Then the National Informatics Centers NIC, that comes under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology for detailed information, because it is GK information also at the same time recent app. Okay, next one is Ayushman Bharat. The objective means the health scheme. It is the largest government funded healthcare the program in the world with over 50 crore beneficiaries benefited by this scheme. The Ayushman Bharat program has two submission, TMJAY and HYDC. The expansion I have made it separately, the tabular column by juice information I have taken. I will show upcoming. Then Pradhan Mantri Arogya Yojana. What does it mean? Yearly known as the National Health Project Scheme. Now it has mentioned Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. It is also what we have mentioned the beginning one. NHPS will cover the financial production and availing healthcare service at the. Okay, I will give this information. I will update this one. Okay, leave it. It is also health program, but let me give the Umang. Okay, it is the application to provide secured access to the citizen in multiple government service at one platform. For example, if you download this Umang, and all the government public sectors like LIC and all the groups like ration card as well as all things are available inside itself. Okay, for all the government applications will be available in the Umang itself, and the service available 24 into 7 and online. Okay, and the last one is Prashad scheme. The scheme is integrated development of pilgrimage destination in a prioritized plan and a sustainable manner for providing complete religious tourism experience. For example, those who are people moving to Mecca or any other foreign countries, if they are moving pilgrimage, and the government themselves they have to take the visa and they will take care the responsibility of moving this pilgrimage rejuvenations. Yeah, Prashad scheme. Boys, did you understand? Hello.
Yes,
yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Okay. According to your understanding level, I have taken this one for Byju's information. Number of schemes, their expansion, when it is launched, and government ministry. It is related to the Ministry of Finance. It is related to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So it is
Yes, sir.
given. Please go through that. Okay, when it is started and everything it's available, just you go through. Okay, from the April 2014 to till now, information is available. Just you go through that. For example, KVP, Kishan Vikas Patra, it is established March 3, 2015. It is under the control of Ministry of Finance. Okay, so it is available. All things are the important scheme launched in India related to the employment poverty alleviations. Okay, it is like Make in India MI. It is introduced September 25, 2014, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And PMGKY means Pradhan Mantri Karib Kalyan Yojana, December 16, 2016, Ministry of Finance. Because here you do not want to study the detailed information. Here itself I have given the important scheme launched in India related to the employment poverty alleviation. For example, if they are asking this scheme, you know that it is coming under the poverty. So the meaning you have to understand and you have to give the correct answer. Understood? The next one is related to the health and sanitation. So here Swachh Bharat SPA, NT means Namami Ganga, and the NBS means National Ball, and they have given, and other government scheme launched by Government of India. PPY means Peti Bachu, already we have discussed now. So we have number of things, but the highlighted 13 alone I have given descriptive wise. You go through that one. Afterwards, these all the things you read it your own. The next one is RBI. Shall we go, man? RBI.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, RBI, only the highlighted points I will tell, and with that I will conclude the concept. It controls the monetary policy with respect to the national currency, the Indian rupees, and this is the symbol of RBI, Reserve Bank of India. Okay, here, what is RBI? Okay, RBI is an institution of national importance and the pillar of the surging Indian economy. It is the member of the IMF. Recently, RBI has launched a website named, just you go through that because the GK question, and it may also ask,
Sir.
just you go through. Yes. Do you have any doubt? Okay. The history also available. The concept of RBI of India was based on the strategies formulated Dr. Ambedkar in his book named at the time itself The Problem of the Rupees. It is its origin and its solution. So they may ask which is written by, which is
No.
given by The Problems of the Rupees, its origin and its solution. Why, man, do you have any doubt?
No,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So the lot many informations are available. I will give. Then okay,
No,
the
sir.
Royal Commission of India, Indian Currency and Finance in 1962. This commission was also known as Hilton Young Commission in that in during the British time. 1949, Reserve Bank of India was nationalized and became the member bank of Asian Clearing Union. Asian Clearing Union, and RBI regulate the chief credit and currency system in India. What is the chief objectives of RBI? To sustain the confidence of the public in the system, to protect interest of the depositors, and the offer cost effective banking service like cooperative banking and commercial banking to the people. Okay, what is the chief objective means? To sustain of confidence public in the system, to protect interest and the depositors, and offers cost effective banking service like cooperative banking and commercial banking. And I have given the timeline. It is also taken in some UPSC book. Reserve Bank of India timeline: 1934, British enacted the Reserve Bank of Indian Act. 1935, Reserve Bank of India was established 1st April in Kolkata. 1937, it was permanently moved to Mumbai. And 1949 got nationalized after independence. The bank was held by private stakeholders before this. Okay, before 1949, it was private stakeholders. If you see the historically Hyderabad Sindhi traders, that people, okay, means the Indian businessmen. After 1949, it was taken by the Indian government. Okay, next, what is the preamble of Reserve Bank of India? Okay, and it has mentioned here to regulate the issue of the bank notes and keeping the reserves with view to securing monetary stability in India and generally to operate the currency and credit system of the country to its advantage. When you see the image of that preamble of the RBI, the meaning is these three lines only. Okay, read it. Understood, boys? And they may give SBI, RBI the most of the bank information, and they may ask, I think, oh, please. Then RBI development I have given, and composition of RBI to directed appointment for 4 years term. The directors are appointment of 4 years term, and the central board of consist of a governor. Okay, there is a governor at present. Who is the RBI governor?
Shaktikant
Very
Das.
good. Okay, Sakti Kandadas. Here, 4 deputy governors will be the 2 finance minister respectivities, and 4 director to represent local board headquarters at 4 director to represent local boards and headquarters at Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, and New Delhi. And the executive head is RBI is governor, and the governor is accompanied by 4 deputy governors. The first governor of RBI, though British time, Sir Osborne Smith, and the first Indian governor was RBI C.D. Desmukh. The first women deputy governor RBI K.G. Udeshi, and the only prime minister who was the governor of RBI was Manmohan Singh. It is too important here. Okay. Then zonal offices. RBI has 4 zonal offices: New Delhi for north, Chennai for south, Kolkata for east, Mumbai for west. The RBI, Reserve Bank of India, has 19 regional offices and 11 sub offices at present. Did you understand what I'm telling? Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
This bank is very good. This bank has 2 training colleges for its offices: the Reserve Bank of Staff College at Chennai and the College of Agriculture Banking at Pune. Okay, it is too important, unknown information, just you go through. And how many reserve banks are there in India? The Reserve Bank of India has offices 31 location all across the country. 31 location, go through. And what are the functions of Reserve Bank of India? Monetary authority, a regulator and administrator of financial system. For example, if they are asking about descriptive types and the objective is mandatory function, and regulator and administrator of financial system, managing foreign exchange, issue for currency, and development role. These are all the 5 important mandatory major functions of RBI. And history of development banks in India. Development banks in India, only 4 things. For mind map, I have taken Industrial Development Bank, Agriculture Development Bank, Export Import Bank, and Housing Development Bank. Okay, the expansion also available upcoming. For example, there are mainly 4 types of development banks in India. First one is Agriculture Development Banks. Example, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development Bank, NABARD. Okay, NABARD will be the agriculture development. Second one is Housing Development Banks, means NHB, National Housing Bank. Export Import Development Banks, okay, which is mean EXIHAM. It is available. So means development banks. They may ask how many 4 and the expansion. The next one is Industrial Development Bank, ICICI, IDBI, International Banks for Reconstruction and Development, IBRD. After the Second World War, there were 2 important banks. One is for International Monetary Fund, IMF, and this one, IBRD, means World Bank. Okay, so IBRD also come under this one only. And so small industries like Development Bank of India, SIDBI. Did you understand? I will send it, just you read 1 or 2 times. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
The next we have to discuss about taxes, which is too important because taxes 1 or 2 questions are asking. And direct taxes means what? Indirect taxes means what? And GST we have to go demonetization. Afterwards we'll sign up. Okay. Taxes means that individuals, corporation by the government in order to finance the government activities. If we want to run the government, we have to collect. Okay. Direct tax versus indirect tax. Okay. The tabular column I have mentioned there. Direct taxes in the sense government directly buy. Indirect taxes means by the manufacturing goods, the government may buy primary, secondary, and tertiary wise. And this is too important. They may give this much of options, and they may ask under comes under which type of taxes, whether direct taxes or indirect taxes. For example, income tax, direct taxes; corporation tax, wealth tax. These 3 also direct taxes. VAT, value added taxes, service taxes, GST tax, excise duty, and entertainment tax and custom duties, which all come under indirect taxes. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I did
Yes,
not
sir.
give more information, man. Only for less information only. Okay, then direct information, both social and economic benefit. What is the objectives of direct taxes? It can be benefited of social and economically, in social and economically. But takes okay, then indirect taxes only for economically. Indirect taxes only for economically. The theory I have given, just to go through. Then taxes in India, income tax. Okay, income tax means income tax levied on the income of individual Hindu undivided families and registered firms in the association of people. And the next income share, income slab. Okay, how? Which one, sir? Yesterday she did not send. Wait a few minutes. The on the day she sent. Okay, if below up to 2.5 lakhs, no taxes. Up to 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs, 5% of taxes we have to pay. 5 to 10 lakhs, 20%. Excess taxes more than 10 lakhs, 30%. Did you understand this one, boys?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
then.
sir.
Then
Yes, sir.
yes, corporation taxes I have mentioned here. The company is treated as a separate entity and they must pay for the separate tax. Each corporation companies as well as public or private sectors have to pay some amount of government, some amount of interest to the government. And companies both public and private which are registered in India under the Companies Act 1956 are liable to pay corporation tax. You may ask, sir, what are the criteria? Means whichever countries officially are mentioned, registered by the government according to the Act of 1956, they must pay for the corporation corporate tax. Okay, and next. Indirect taxes. Before we have discussed direct taxes, now indirect taxes. Okay, so for detailed information I have given indirect taxes, custom duty, then excise duty, service taxes, value taxes, and goods and service taxes. Okay, first one is custom duty. It is duty levied on export and import, indirectly export and import the product. Okay, if you are receiving about the foreign product, so that will be taken for the taxes. Okay, and export import, that only custom duty. Excise duty, in the sense, and excise duty is the true sense in commodity tax, because it is levied production of goods in India and not on the sale of product. Okay, this information, excise duty. And except alcohol, liquor, and this one, the liquor they cannot get for the excise duty, and remaining all other things means the Indian product. Then service taxes, the service taxes was introduced in 1994 1925. Three service: telephone services, general insurance, and sharing parking, sharing broking. And we have to see this one, I will say this one. Okay, broking means what? Three services alone they have taken service taxes. Value added taxes means, you know very well, the India's indirect tax structures is weak for producers cascading effect. The structure was by large, uncertain, and complex, and its administrative was difficult. But because value added means for from primary to it is when it is going to the consumer hand, there are number of byproducts will be there. To counting these all the things, it may be difficult. Okay, from the primary sectors, if you are giving one product and it is moving to the secondary, in between there are some vision and math, and in between tertiary there are some, and it was difficult. To avoid that only, the government has abolished that one, and they have introduced for that goods and service taxes later. And as a result, various commodities on taxation recommended value added tax. The indirect taxation inquiry committee argued for VAT. According, VAT has been introduced in India by all state union territory except Andaman and Nicobar, and the state VAT being implemented till 1st July 2017 had replaced um, erstwhile sales tax of state up to 2017, 1st July 2017, they have utilized for the value added taxes, but collecting and calculating there are a lot of problem, so that they eliminated that one and they have introduced for it another system, GST, goods and service taxes. And theory, just you have to go through whatever theory is available, just you go through. Boys, am I clear?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, then uh, GST. Okay, GST, it may be host one because it is the Modi government improvement. It has been established by the 101st Constitutional Amendment Act. It is an indirect tax for the whole country on the line of one nation, one tax. One nation, one tax to make India unified market. It is a single tax on supply of goods and services in its entire product cycle or life cycle from manufacturing to the consumer. It is calculated only the value addition at any stage of goods and services. Value added taxes mean it may be the taxes may be collected primary, secondary, and tertiary. And when you come for the calculation, and you may get confusion. But goods and services not like that. Only for finished goods and they are collecting. Understand? The next one, here the goods and service chairman, in the sense financial minister of India is the chairman. When was GST first introduced in India, in the sense the effect from 1st July 2017, the Jammu and Kashmir state legislative passed its GST Act, and 7th July 2017, Jammu and Kashmir 2017, remaining all state 1st July 2017. And which state introduced GST first in India? Means Assam Assembly. Historical resolution was passed in Assam Assembly, as Assam became the first state of ratified the constitutional amendment bill relating to GST. Assam Chief Minister Sarbanta Snowball tweeted, okay, is the first state introduced, and he has given the information this one. And currently there are types of GST, and C GST, SGST, IGST. State GST, IGST means integrated GST under integrated central and state government. Did you understand, boys?
Yes, sir.
Okay then. Let me explain this one. IGST integrated alone. The integrated, yes, integrated goods and service restricted is the tax levied on interstate goods and services transaction. It is applicable on import and export as well. Under IGST, taxes charged or shared by both are central and shared. That's what I said. Both central and state government, which can be possible only for import and export. Import and export. Okay, it may be. And for example, you are in Tamil Nadu, you are going to export product to the foreign countries, means here you have to pay in state government taxes also. When you are going to in central government authority, there also you have to give taxes. Understand? At the same time, that product, the foreign product, when it is coming to the Indian market, and we have to pay. On 8th November 2016, it means the next one is demonetization. It is too important. On 8th November 2016, the government of India announced the demonetization of 500 rupees and 1000 rupees banknotes of Mahatma Gandhi series. It also announced the uh, issuance of new 500 and 2000 banknotes in exchange for its demonetization banknote. Prime Minister Narendra Modi claimed that the action would curtail the shadow economic, reduce the use of illicit and counterfeit cash fund illegal activities and terrorism. Because here we are giving in GDP some prices, and national GNP some prices. But when we see the economic ratio for each accounts, it will be more. But RBI account, it will be less. So that the Narendra Modi has started for the demonetization, and 18 November 2016. Just you go through this information. Did you understand, boys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then now I have made it some important information. What is the significance of images of the resource side of Indian currency? Suppose they may ask this also. 2000 rupees new note. It shows the understand. Mangalyan 20 note. It shows the country, culture, and biodiversity of the world. And 1 rupees note, it is the government printed 1 rupees note on 30th November 1917. Okay, 13 means they may ask when you mean 1917. And the 2 rupees note and the Asoka Empalam in front, the Indian first satellite Aryabhatta in began. It shows the Indian progress in the field of science and technology. Second one, rupees 2, and a 5 rupees note, new note I will tell. And before that, 10 rupees note. Then Konark Sun Temple, they may ask Konark Sun Temple, wheel and clean Indian logo. The photograph of Mahatma Gandhi image Asoka Empalam will receive reverse side note as images, rhinoceros, elephant, and tigers. And the resort side of the new series as images Konark Sun Temple, wheel, and clean India logo. And 20 rupees note. Okay, 20 rupees note, Mahatma Gandhi watermark, Asok Empalam. In behind that, Mount Harit, lighthouse, and port player. Did you understand, boys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the 50 rupees note. Okay, in front Mahatma Gandhi Asoka Empalam, design of Indian Parliament, and began that Swachh Bharat and Chariot and Hampi of Karnataka. Hampi is a World Heritage Site of India in new 50 rupees, and 100 rupees note. 100 rupees note in back side Mount Kanchenjunga, the highest peak in India. In front side Asoka Empalam, and the 200 rupees note new. That means the backside image of famous Sanchi Stupa. Okay, Sanchi Stupa. And next 5 rupees note. That's what here. The image of Swachh Bharat and the Red Fort of Delhi. And 10,000 rupees note. No, 20,000, 2,000 rupees note as image of Mangalyaan, launched by the Indian Space Research Organization November 5, 2013. The note shows the scientific prosperity of India. Did you understand, boys?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Uh, I think time. Is it useful or useless?
Useful, sir.
very
Yes,
useful.
sir. Very useful.
Very
Okay.
useful,
Yes,
sir.
yes. I will update this one, and I have more information also. And
Sir, please update.
I will
Sir, please
update
update
this.
Yesterday's
the
class.
previous class also, sir.
Yes, previous class and this one I will update. And next class I will bring according to the question paper some questions in economics and some news also, some GK also I will bring economics.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, dear. Thank you. Have a nice day. I will
Thank you,
update
sir.
now
Thank you,
itself.
sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, dear.
Bye, sir.
Wow, 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 wow.